I'm joined now from Israel by Shoham in Israel, by Noa Hubara. Now, her husband was killed at the weekend. Noa, I'm astonished that you're joining us, and thank you so much for talking to us. We really appreciate it. What are you able to tell us? What do you feel comfortable telling us about what happened at the weekend? When did you know something was going wrong?
We opened the morning with sirens. 6:30 a.m. We were, myself and my husband and my son, my 5-year-old son. I have twin girls. They were at my parents' house, so they were safe. And the sirens they just kept going on. And in a while, my husband, who lived in Sufa all his life, said that this is not usual, as we can say usual on such situations, but it's not usual and something looks different. He is part of the Civilians Readiness Group, which in such situation is able to protect us. And he has a WhatsApp group for the group, and from there he discovered that there is an infiltration of Hamas terrorists to our kibbutz. And he wanted to go and help. He does not have a weapon in our house. The members of the group can have a weapon if they choose to. He chose not to. We clearly didn't think something like that could happen. But one of the members was not in a position to fight. He was injured from something prior, not due to the events. And he asked our Rav Shatz, which is basically the security, I'll say the one who's in charge of our security in the kibbutz, told him, come and get me, pick me up from my house, accompany me with the weapon, and I will go and get the weapon from the other member's house.
And how did you feel about that, Noa, knowing that you didn't know what he was going out to face, going out to arm himself, but you staying behind?
I mean, I look back and I didn't think much of it. That's what frightens me the most. He asked me, do you think I should go? And I said, yes, you should go and help. The only thing I asked, do you know how to handle such situations? Because I wanted to know that his prior training was in accordance to such situations. And he said, yes. And so I let him go. I helped him get organized. I even went in order to get organized, we left the safe room. Our son stayed there. We saw that our house was shot at. We saw bullet holes. And yet I helped him get ready. He put on his vest and I put on his helmet. And I just told him, just let me know when you have the weapon on you. Because in my head, once he had the weapon on him, he'll be fine. I mean, our Rav Shatz, I knew that he killed already 4 terrorists. So I didn't feel like something like that could happen. I look back and I really do not understand how did I let him go like that.
And you went back into the safe room.
Yes.
And you got a text from him to say that he had the weapon. And then what contact did you have with him? And what was going through your mind when you were in there with your 5-year-old?
So it was the last message that I received from him. I text him, Widdow, send me a signal that you're fine, and nothing. And that was, I think, about 10 a.m., maybe something like that. And time passed by, and other members of the group started writing in the kibbutz group, letting us know about the situation, but he did not. And other members of the group started going into houses to making sure that everyone is okay, and he did not. And all this time, while I was fearing, I sent messages to the Rav Shatz, and I sent messages in the kibbutz asking if someone had seen him, if tell him to call me, tell him to contact me. I even sent him a message, Ido, if you're not dead, I'm going to kill you. And nothing. No one told me anything.
How scared were you for your own safety? You were obviously worried about him, but you're also trying to keep a 5-year-old calm.
Yeah,
how worried were you about your safe room and how safe it was?
So thankfully, we have a TV in the safe room. So my son basically watched TV from dusk to dawn. And I was there sometimes sitting on the bed with him. And sometimes when I felt that the noises they sound too close, that then we left the bed and sat on the floor quietly. And I told him, be quiet. And he would ask me why. And I tell him, just be quiet. Sometimes, I mean, we heard knocks on the window, on the safe room window, and it was hard. I mean, I tried to listen and to think, is it really a knock? Maybe it's, something from bombings. Sometimes it makes noise. It makes the window shudder a bit. But I heard noises. I heard people texted. I hear noises. I hear shouting. I heard Arabic speaking. Please come, please help. And I don't know. I think I'm still a little bit shocked as to what went down there and how close of a call it was, actually.
And when did you know you were safe?
So the first time at about, I think, 4 p.m., maybe 5 p.m., soldiers came accompanied by someone from the kibbutz who called each family before entering their house, letting them know that these are soldiers and not terrorists, because the terrorists try to enter. And the soldiers came, and I saw them, and I talked to them. I even asked them to figure out what happened to Ido. And that's when I know, okay, we have soldiers here. They are going from house to house. I hope that it is the beginning of the end of the attack on my kibbutz. We were still instructed to stay in the safe room, but at least I saw someone that wasn't me and wasn't my son.
And when did you realize that the worst had happened to Ido?
So, I felt it in my gut, like, the whole time. Why would people ignore me? And I threatened a bit on the Rav Shatz with my life. I told him that I might end my life. He won't tell me what happened. So he sent my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law and her boyfriend. They live in the kibbutz as well, near enough so that he told them they could run and come and be with me because I'm not in a good shape. And they came, and they didn't know anything as well, but at least we were together. And about, I think, half an hour later, maybe an hour, my father-in-law, Ido's father, came in. Ido's father is a volunteer of MADA, and he is an ambulance driver volunteering, and he has ambulance in the kibbutz. So when someone is injured, he is the first call. So when he entered with his face grim, we kind of knew. I asked him, is it Ido? And I asked Ido, and he said no, like he did no with his head, like. And I had a hope that maybe he's just injured and there is no way to transport him, because I heard of such cases on the day. So I told him, is he gone? And he nodded, yes. And that's when we all, me, myself, his mother, and his sister, just broke down in tears. And
Noa, you have 3 children under 5. How are you going to cope?
I wish I knew. I'm going to need a lot of help. Ido was I know that in today's climate, people say, women carry most of the burden. I don't think it was like that in our household. Ido was a very, very dominant parent. And he did everything. He got up in the morning to dress them, and he did everything. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. We still haven't received any information regarding his body and burial. I mean, we know that the body is safe and it was not kidnapped, and it was a major concern for people who didn't know what the situation is. But we still don't have any news. We're still waiting. The situation here is so tense and so chaotic that, we just have to wait.
Will you go back to the kibbutz?
A lot have asked me that. And I said that for starters, yes, all my stuff is there. Thankfully, my house is not ruined. And the people from the kibbutz are the first ones I told that this has happened, and we are like a family. It's such a small kibbutz, and we are family, and people are writing to me that we are going to be a family forever. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll have to see if I feel safe there. I don't think that any place is safe right now, but I hope that in the end of this, we will be able to feel safe again.
Noa Hubara, thank you so much for talking to us. I'm so sorry for you.
Thank you
for
very much.
talking to us and telling us your story.
Thank you, Jane.